Welcome back to Rich Media Podcast presented by Darnell Scott, aka Darnell Photography. Today I have a very special guest that I'd like to talk to you about. This man has brought me he's given me so much information over the years. When I met this guy, I was like 8, 9 years old. So we 40 years into the game, strong. We slept at each other's house. We we helped each other through hard problems. We've done so much. But when I tell you this guy has overcome so many obstacles in life, when I tell you, you talking about starting at the bottom, coming out the mud. When I tell you, this is a dude that came from the bottom and went all the way up to the top. I'm not going to talk about his money. I'll let him talk about his own money. But I'm going to tell you, this dude right here, he's a mentor. He's a coach. He guides people. He's a great father. He's doing so many great things. I'm so proud to be in this moment with my guy, King James. Let me bring him on in. King James in the building. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, D. Scott. How you doing, my brother?
Man, I feel very blessed. One day into being 49 years old, I feel very blessed.
Yeah, that's that's what's happening, brother, man. I appreciate the introduction, man.
Oh man, you know what? I feel like I ain't even do you no justice because you got so much. It's so much to you, and like my show is about, man, is watering the flowers, man. Because we always talking about people after they gone, man. But it's like this, man. Without you being a part of my life, without you sharing that insight, man, where would I be at? I'd be still hustling at a job. You know what I mean? I'll still be working, trading 16 hours of my day, for pennies. You know what I mean? And you gave me all the insight. You gave me knowledge. You just said, hey, bro, don't do it like that. Do it like this. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate you and being the great father that you are and being in the community, man, and trying to help people who are unwilling to help themselves. You know what I mean? Created a program, a job program for people that everybody rejects. And you created a business that accepts people that people reject, man. Godly, spiritual. Come on, bro.
I appreciate King James, that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what I wanted to talk about today, everybody, I call him King James because obviously his name is James, and I love the Bible. So I kind of gave him the name King James. So when I think about it, I see a man of flesh who actually take principles from the Bible and make that thing reality because he serves people. He's a servant at the heart, servant at the core. He take care of his mom, take care of his siblings. Man, he's just a great dude. And I can't imagine how your little baby boy feel being around such a great influence like you, because he could be anything, like literally. You know how we say that?
Yes, sir.
Your boy can be anything,
Absolutely. I appreciate that, man.
So, yeah. So the thing I want to talk about today, though, I want to go into, like, I love stories, man. So, as far as you want to take us back, man, I want tell people who need to hear this type of information how you had the mindset to go from negative money to your high level of achievement financially in this world. Like, how did you do it?
Well, man, it just comes with a lot of determination, a lot of determination, and and your back being against the wall, and it come to a point in life to know that a lot of doors got slammed in my face, because of not so perfect background, growing up. So, when your back's against the wall and there's people counting on you, you just find a way to make things work, and then you put your blood and sweat into it, man, and you just go. What I found out is, it's the determination, but it's also the constant endurance, accepting failure for what it is and just moving on past it. Finding a way when obstacle come your way, you find a way around it, over it, and you just got to keep going, man. And that's what kind of got me going, man. Just the fact that I got, a lot of doors shut in my face, man. It just gave me that determination.
Mm.
Yeah.
Man, so powerful, man. Here's the thing. He's really being humble right now, good people, because I gotta dig into that brain, King
Come
James,
on with
because
it.
it's like failure. People always fail, man. They fail. And
Hmm.
here's the thing, man. You're supposed to fail because
Hmm.
every time you have an intention that's going to take you somewhere great in life, you're always going to have that distraction, that thing, those people
Hmm.
that causes you to stop and then do something else.
Right.
Like, how did you stay focused on, even though I know the family, the kids, I mean,
Hmm.
understand, but like, how did King James stay focused with when failure? Man, I remember stories where you had I'm gonna say $5,000 in a day or two, and
Hmm.
you did it.
Hmm.
People are trying to get $50 in a day. You got
Hmm.
5,000 in a
Right.
day
Right.
when you had to do it.
Right.
What is that, King? I need
Man,
that. What is that?
man, it comes. A lot of people believe in a lot of things, man. But they just don't believe in themselves.
Mm,
I mean, a lot of people believe that, they're looking at what other people are accomplishing, and they just don't have that, that self. I just believe so much in myself, man. I mean, that no matter what the obstacle, you know, I can reach my goal. No matter what obstacle come my way, I just dig in and I grind and I just believe, man, that I can reach that goal, man. And ultimately, man, that just comes with a relationship that I have with God. Because, see, my story, I didn't have somebody I can go ask for $10, $20. I started out at a very young age on my own at 16. You know the story because I came live with you and your mom.
mm. Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
I didn't have that person I could go to say, hey, can I borrow a few dollars, like that. And the needs had to be met. So, I just started believing in myself, man. And I just said, hey, no matter what come my way, I'm going to make it happen. We're going to make this thing happen. And I'm going to keep my tunnel vision and focus on what I'm going after until I reach that goal, and that's pretty much the difference, man. I mean, I don't have no special ability. Anybody can do that. Anybody can just believe in themselves and make it happen. Hey,
Mm,
if you want that a particular type of car, you got to grind for it. You got to grind. Life is like me and you talked about, man. Life is like a game of chess. It's about making the right moves. Sometimes you're not going to always make that right move, but then, what I'm saying? But then, see, the difference is between me and somebody else playing chess. I think about my counter move or my second and third move. You know what I mean? Before I move that that piece. You know what I'm saying? So a
mm.
lot of people not thinking of that far ahead. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
I'm planning for that. And then a lot of people, not even thinking about an extra strategy when they get involved with something, a business or something like that. What if something happened? What is my strategy? What is my exit strategy? You got to put
Mm.
all that into place, man. And then work that thing to the best of your ability.
Man, very powerful, powerful chess move. We still need to start getting some chess in. That reminded me, I need to send you that chess app because I can learn a lot.
Right,
I can learn a lot by playing against somebody who think 2, 3 steps ahead.
right.
You know, and especially we can do that over social media, so that's pretty cool.
That's perfect.
Well, so in my life back, I would say maybe 20 years ago, you
Hmm.
told me some information that I had never forgot.
Okay.
You told me that you just gotta do it. You just gotta like not be scared, and you just gotta do it.
Hmm.
You took that same principle and idea, and you went into a real estate career.
Hmm.
And I walked around the house so big, you needed an intercom to you needed an intercom to call your kids. That's how big that house
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And you did that from nothing but pure hustle.
Hmm.
So when I think about King James, man, I always say If you want to know what a hustler look like, there you go. Right on the screen, right on the
Yeah.
screen. Because as a doer, no matter what, you have brought forth everything you said you were going to do. Even at the towards the end of 2021, you
Hmm.
said, "This is what I'm doing. This is what when it's going to happen. Watch."
Right.
And then you came back with the report and you had manifested everything that you said you were going to do. So I'm very proud, to be in a company, of a person like you, and I can call you on the phone. That's
Yes, sir.
amazing to me that God is, that good to me where I could talk to a person who can actually sharpen me and help me develop myself and to
Right.
grow in the game. You know what I mean? So I think that's the most important part of, relationships with friends, people who are true friends. I don't have too many friends. I know a lot of people, and a lot of people know me. I hear
Hmm.
people say all the time, "Hello, Darnell," and I'm honestly, to be honest, I don't know who they are.
Right.
They never take the time to introduce themselves to me. They never take the time to sit down and talk to me. I invite people to coffee and breakfast all the time.
Right.
Nobody has time because they have to go and grind at their job.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, talk to me about like the benefit of having a great relationship with people and how it has affected you. And first, and I want to know, why don't you sell your information? Why are you keeping, like, why, because you give so much information away for free. Like when is King James going to have that book that
Hmm.
people can read? When is King James going to have that course so that you can share it with everybody? Because people who don't pay, they don't pay attention.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So you have a lot of people who want free information that search YouTube for hours upon hours upon hours, and they don't realize that it costs more because you spending your time.
Right.
When you can cut that out and just get the information and then go to the hustle and start making money in real time.
Right.
So what does a relationship mean, like, to you, as it relates to business? I know the family part because you're a
Hmm.
family dude and
Right.
you love your people, but
Right.
as relate to business, how does a person use that information to grow?
Well, relationships are important in business, and that's one of the things I keen in on. I try to build relationships because what happens is you never know what it could be your bank teller. You never know what they're gonna, that when they're gonna become the bank manager. You know what I mean? And they remember you in your relationship and how you were coming in there. Just being courteous to somebody can go a long way. And just
Mm,
people, making people smile. I believe in, just being humble, man, and ultimately, man, you said something about why I give away information. One of the things was, man, that's a God thing for me. Uh, and one of the things that I ran into, man, I found out people want to keep information. They don't want to tell you anything. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be a high school friend that you knew back in the day outside of yourself, because we sharpen
mm,
each other every day, me and you.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they don't want to give you the information, so they make you go get the information. Which I'm grateful for those people, because you know what, I would never know what I know today if I wasn't forced to go get it myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful for people like that, man. They made you go and go, sought out the information. One of the things, man, back in the day, man, you said when I was living in those big houses, I wanted to be a millionaire. That was my goal. I wanted to be a millionaire. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to work a 9 to 5.
Yep.
And because so many jobs, man, I realized there's a ceiling working for companies. You
Mm-hmm.
only can go so high, and then when you reach that pinnacle, you're a gem of a company like I was, and you still struggling to make ends meet. There's a problem with that.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
want that ceiling. You know what I mean? I want to keep going and going and going, and you know. So one of the things that I come to realize, I get the money, man. I reach a certain pinnacle, I get the money, but then I'm back to square one. That money don't last always. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So this time coming around, I asked God. I said, God, put me in a position to be able to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And put me in a position financially so I can help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know where God, how that was going to look,
Mm-hmm.
and he took me in a direction to to that I didn't know I was going to be in, but you know I started creating businesses that employed other people,
Mm-hmm.
and gave people opportunities to work. Even when you got even people coming out of prison with fellas, and there's so many obstacles we face, you
Mm-hmm.
know, as a culture,
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted to create a solution. So I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
go to these big businesses and these big business owners and say, hey, trust me, trust my company, and let me help your business grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be responsible for the help that I bring. So that's what I did, man. I gave a lot of people opportunity, man, and God just He never stopped blessing me after that. So see, like the more I pour into people, the more God bless me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a win-win situation. But I'm coming to the realization that what's that old saying your mother used to say? You can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink. You know what I'm saying? So I come to realize, man, somebody told me, because I'm just one of those people that I like to help people. Somebody told me, man, you cannot cast your pearls to swine. That's biblical. You know what I mean? And I looked it up and I was like, wow. You know what I mean? And that's a true statement. You can't help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I do what I can. And
Mm-hmm.
after talking to you, brother, because we sharpen each other. All those books. One of the things D. Scott always tell me, he said, brother, read, brother. You got to read. So and I'm not. I read what I need to read, but I just, I can't get into just reading all the time, because I'm just so busy all the time. But I'm taking that advice, and I'm learning new things, and man, now I'm looking towards creating some type of material for people can learn from,
Mm-hmm.
and then it can benefit, also benefit myself. So yeah, I'm catching up, and I'm learning, man. So I'm gonna see how that looks here in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So what I learned, that by the way, if you didn't hear what he just said, you got to go back. I want you to remember you have to be courteous to the bank teller and the janitor, because the
Mhm.
janitor might own the building.
Yeah,
He might own the
absolutely.
building. He might
That's
own the
right.
building.
That's right.
So you want to be courteous. You never know where the angels are dwelling.
That's
You never
right.
know who the angels dwell in. So
Mhm.
you always want to be courteous to people, not just because you want to get something, but because it's what people who have a loving heart do. You want to
Mhm.
help people. You want to raise people up. You people more highly than you esteem yourself. So go ahead.
Well, if you don't mind me interjecting, man, that's a true story with me, man. I actually made a bank teller some years back, and in two different occasions, and they became the bank manager. You know what I mean? Then when I went
Mm-hmm.
back to that same bank and I needed a line of credit, it wasn't that hard for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, it worked out in my favor. So God's good with that
Yeah. Yeah.
same bank teller. They
Mm-hmm.
made that happen for me. So I thank God for that, for those people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and plus, we all need each other. We out here thinking, it's people out here who really think in a mindset that they can do things without other people. It's
Mhm.
impossible. God set us up in a way where we needed to be a community of people that serve one another.
That's
You know,
absolutely. Hmm.
and I know for certain that I'm not going, because when you took me into a house one time, you let me hit that wall with
Hmm.
that big old mallet. And when I
Hmm.
started hitting that wall and start busting my hands up, I said, "Oh no, baby, this ain't for me. This ain't for me." You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Yes,
This
sir.
ain't this ain't for me. So I
Yes,
know
sir.
that somebody out there. Then you took that same hammer, hitting boom, boom, and it all fell down because you a skillful artisan.
Hmm.
You know how to remodel houses. You know how to do all
Right.
that stuff. So that's not for me.
Hmm.
I'll give me a camera, a pen, a book. You know what I mean? I articulate and organize some knowledge, and then I go forward.
That's
With that
right.
knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
right.
what I do. That's
But
what I'm good at.
right.
But one, oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, man, and that's big. I was taught at a very young age, man, that experience was the best teacher. So and learn your craft, whatever you decide to get into, learn
Mm,
it. You know what I'm saying? Not only read about it, go out and touch it. You know what I mean? Make it
Mm-hmm.
tangible. Get on it. Get out there with your crew. And make it. Make it happen. And that's the way I always done, man. I always made sure I got out there and experienced things for myself. Because what happens if that crew not available to you no more? Or this person, don't show up to the job. You know what I mean? You got to know your
Mm-hmm.
craft. So yeah, man, that's been always been a plus for me.
Yeah. I wish, sometime I wish I would have, done more things like that. But then I just said to myself, self, you wouldn't see that would have been something I would have quit at.
Hmm.
So the importance of knowing what you want to do with your
Hmm.
time,
Hmm.
that is of the utmost. So I always ask three questions of young people that I work with.
Hmm.
I ask them, what do you want? Why do you want it? And what are you willing to give to get that thing?
Right.
Whatever that thing is, and it has to be your focus. So it needs to be one thing that you're going after at a time.
Right.
Now, some people believe that they can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 things at a time, and you can, but how diluted are those 10 things? Because if you dilute, the way we dilute business, you can only do a little bit of this and a little bit of that at a
Hmm.
time.
Right. Right.
So when a person needs focus, but they also need money, do you have any advice for people like that when they need focus on one thing but they can't? Like what's a way for a person to get what they need while they're struggling? Because you did it. You went through the whole gamut, zero, minus zero, all the way up to great heights.
Right. 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 Well, this is what I always say, man. You got an ideal. Every great business start with an ideal. You know what I mean? You got that ideal. You create your plan. How you gonna accomplish those goals to reach that. To get that thing operating. Uh, and like you said, if and it just start from idea. There's no money involved with that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But you put it out. You put it all on paper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You study that thing. You learn different ways. You know what I'm saying? How you can cultivate that thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah.
order to grow it. So yeah, that's what I do, man. I come up with my idea, I decide on what I'm gonna do, and then I'll go ahead and learn about it. And then sometimes, where the money come from, don't necessarily means uh, you may have to still work that 9 to 5 for a little
Mm-hmm.
while. You might have to work that
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5 to
Yeah.
generate revenue, the startup revenue for your business. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But you have to know the costs
Mm-hmm.
involved with getting everything going and started, and then put a little bit of time into it. You stick with it, and once that thing is doing what it's supposed to do, then you make a decision whether you want to leave that job or not. You know what I mean? If you,
Mm-hmm.
if you can, if it, so that's what you do, man. You got to cultivate that thing before you you just dive out there. Now we're not telling you dive out head first. You know what I mean? You got to
Right.
dip your toe in that water first,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then cultivate it to where it's operate. You may not be able to pay yourself for the first year or two. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? You might have to still work, and your employees, or you paying them to do the work, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still your business, and
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately the goal is to quit your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
you get there, man, because you kept your foot on the gas and you made it happen. And you put in more hours than usual. You put in 8 hours over here, but you put another 10 over here. You know what I mean? Just to make that thing something you're not getting paid for it. You got to have
Mm-hmm.
that mental focus. And you got to have
Mm-hmm.
that determination that one day this thing is going to be able to take care of me. So, and that's the way I go, man. I get one thing cultivated and get it going, and it's sustaining itself
Mm.
first before I start thinking about my next plan. Yeah.
So organize focus. So you organize once it's a baby, like the baby grown enough to feed itself now,
Hmm.
take care of itself, take its, and it's producing money for you.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
can now take that focus and put it on something else.
Yes, sir.
So that reminds me, a mentor I read it was in a book or I heard it somewhere in the past, but he said, work full time on your job,
Hmm.
work part time on your fortune.
Yes.
That's when you said that, that's what it reminded me of.
Hmm.
That's
Yes, sir.
powerful.
Yes,
I,
sir.
I want to go back a little bit because I just want to make a point. The point is like we got to give stuff away for free.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be agents of. We have to give people things.
Right.
You know, when you receive, you must freely give. You know, if you
Yes,
don't have
sir.
a heart to give, if you don't have a heart to give, that says a lot about your character, you know, because there's some people who just don't have the ability, and I really mean this, they don't have the ability to see past right now. They can only see going to work, they can only see paying a bill, they can only see next month's bills rolling around. They can't open their vision up to see it. So in a position like that, that's why I say you actually do people a favor by selling them something that can help them get to a goal that they need to get to. It's actually we're actually one of the mentors that I listen to. He says selling is a service also,
Yeah.
because you give people the ability to pay something, and when you put your heart, when you put your money, you put your heart. If you don't put no money there, you don't put no heart there.
That's
So you
right.
just remain blind and stay in the same situation. So just to open my heart up just a little bit more. I know we're getting close to. I know you got other meetings you got to get to, but just to open my heart just a little bit more. You know, help me sell the program you know I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
If you help me sell putting cameras in young people's hands, help me like what would you do? I went to the athletic directors, the teachers and all that. Like, what's something that I can do? What's something else I could do to make this a bigger, stronger reality? Because it's already reality, but I want to make it more concrete to put these cameras in these young people's hands.
Okay. Yeah. So what I would say, D. Scott, is what's that old saying? We used to say is the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is, man, when people see your vision coming to
Mm-hmm.
life,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? They actually see young children with cameras in their hand on the court side. You know what I mean? That's gonna motivate people. You know what I'm saying? To get in to wonder, wait, what's going on? What are these young people doing at courtside? You know what I mean? What is really going on, man? And that's one of the things you can do. You just got to display it, man. Put it on display. You know what I mean? Put it on display. Put them young kids, cameras in their hand, put them out there on courtside, let them do what they're doing, and let people start asking questions. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
What I tell you? What I tell you? Now,
Mm-hmm.
I get that's not free because King James is spending his valuable time to deposit this. So that would not be in vain, my brother. You will see kids with cameras in their hands on courtside
Mm-hmm.
very soon.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
will see it
Yes,
very.
sir.
My
Yes, sir.
program, my actual program launches tomorrow, January 5th.
Mm-hmm. That's all right, man. God is good. God is good. Yes, sir. That's
I've been doing
confirmation.
it.
That's confirmation, brother.
Yeah. I've been doing it
Mm-hmm.
for you know, but now the rewards are pouring in.
Yeah.
The beauty of the reward is pouring in, and then there's kids who are ready to receive.
Mm-hmm.
They want to touch the camera and hold it in their hands. They've been feeling this energy for a
Mm-hmm.
month and a half. They've been feeling the energy. I've been feeling it. I've been bringing tension to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful.
And I
So
want. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry.
no. Please
Uh,
interrupt me, King James,
I
anytime you
wanted to
want.
say, this just came to mind, man. I got a friend of mine that went to church with me. He started a company flying drones. He put drone. He would train kids how to fly drone, which
Mm,
cultivated into a business. Now
mm,
he got a team of about 10 kids, teenagers that flying drones for businesses. And what happens
mm,
is each one of those kids, he's saying at 16, 17-year old is generating 70,000 plus. So
mm.
you know what I'm saying? All off of an ideal.
Woo, you just said something that should fire somebody
Yes, sir,
completely up.
man.
King James, man, that is. Thank you for sharing that. First of all,
No
that is
problem, man.
that is powerful because you just gave me another idea.
That's all right.
So the thing is, brother, every business need more exposure, and with the camera, with the video, and all the things that we can do, I've seen young people smiling, because here's a terrible thing to have witnessed in 21 and 20. I heard that a kid that was in high school got murdered by a
Mm,
kid that was in high school. I
mm,
heard a kid got pregnant in high school by a kid that's in high school. I heard, just all kind of senseless things with these kids.
right.
And my business, I'm making it my business to get some of those, to attract some of those young people over to do something positive, to put down the guns and to pick up the cameras,
Yes, sir.
to put down the joystick and get into this art, to get in, do something. I always ask, like, what's it going to take for adults, like for each of us to go? I ain't telling people to go out and get 20, 30 kids, I mean, it may not be a part of their lifestyle, but what would it take, like, for a person to come in and learn to be you today? An 8, 9, 10-year-old learns how to become King James today,
Right.
thinking like, I want to give people who are unwilling or who just want to be, because some people love their job. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with a job. Everybody
Right.
got a part to play in
Right.
this thing called life.
Right.
You got to have a gas station attendant, and they take great pride in it.
Right.
Put their makeup on and they look good and they smell good and they go to work at a gas station, and
Right.
that's their success level.
Hmm.
Like, what can we do as men and women, not a gender statement, but what can we do as men and women just to take the time to grab one kid that we see in distress and bring them under our wing and coach them so that they can have a brighter outlook, for their future? What's one way we could do that?
Well, that starts with a mindset, man, and a lot of times for me, it's a relationship with God, and I look back at my past, and I wonder if somebody would embrace me back then, would I, how things would have turned out as a
Mm-hmm.
youth, for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
I would have took a different path, man. So you got to look at some of the obstacles that we faced as a youth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some things that we had to endure without single family homes and things of that nature, man. And you know, and and become a part of the solution to the problem. You know what I mean? We just reach out, man. Talk to your young brother, young sister, man. Spend some time with them. Educate them on, that there's a better way to do things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of things is trying to teach them how to cope with their emotions and their feelings and things. See, a lot of these children, because they don't have both parents, broken homes, things of that nature, they don't know how to cope with their emotions. When you come up in the household of riffraff,
Mm-hmm.
we got to just reach out, man, and start embracing these youth, man, and teaching them how to cope with their emotions and teaching them there's a better way to do things, man. A young man may have never thought about before you got a hold of him
Mm-hmm.
that it was possible for him to do photography. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And stand on the court side and shoot a basketball game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I just challenge you, D. Scott. You know what I'm saying? Take it to the next level. You know what I mean? Talk to the commissioners of in the NBA and things of that nature. What if we can court side those kids at a Pacer game, a coach game? You know,
Mm-hmm.
man, that would be an experience that they would know that it's possible to be here in the flesh, man. It's possible,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah.
we just gotta, man. We just gotta think about where we came from, man, and
Mm-hmm.
try to give back to the youth, man. And they
Mm-hmm.
don't always look like money. Sometimes it just look like taking a little bit of time out,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
man. And man, hey, I challenge everybody on this platform. Reach out to D. Scott, see how you can help his program and succeeding at what he does. So those kids can reach a higher pinnacle. And let's just get in there and let's do this thing, man. And, I'm willing, man. I'm willing
Mm.
and able. So let's
Oh
make
yeah.
do this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, what a pleasure it was to talk to you, man, on
Hmm.
the show. Man, I've had two great guests on my show. My first two shows, I've had two great guests. And I have to say, I gotta have you to come back, bro. I need to make a
Oh,
public confession to come back on the show.
absolutely, man.
Hey, y'all
Any
heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. I'm putting this thing everywhere because I believe that what King James has said in this video, if you would take the time to not look at the obstacle, but to look at the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
that you will get to it eventually. They say it's very hard to find a needle in a haystack, but it's not impossible.
That's
If
right.
you keep looking for it, you'll find it. And then one thing that I would ask all people, I'm a photographer, so I take a picture, I put it on the computer screen, and I hit print, and that's what prints out.
Yes,
The
sir.
mind is so much more powerful than that. You
Mm-hmm.
need to take a picture of your ideas. You need to write that idea down on a piece of paper.
Yes,
You need
sir.
to frame that idea. You
Mm-hmm.
need to fill in the content of that idea. And you need to not look at nothing else but that picture until you are holding that picture in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And that I tell you that reading books, it's not going to really improve your mind. What it's going to improve is your awareness,
Yeah,
the
awareness.
things that the things that are available. So people
Mm-hmm.
think they want to read to learn. No, my mentor taught me a long time ago that is not why you read. You read to gain mastery over the things that you're doing with your hands.
Yes, sir.
You read to gain mastery, and the words that you read influence the things you do with your hands.
That's
Because
right.
when a man or a woman works on something so hard, and then it becomes easy or simple to them, now you have a service that you must provide in the marketplace, because there are other people who need your simplicity of their hard thing that they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say every person has a talent. And if you don't have one, just close your eyes and imagine a problem that you hate
Mm-hmm.
and solve the problem. To spend a year or two solving the problem, framing the problem, writing in all the content of how you would fix it, like King James has done. He framed the problem, said that's not a problem now because here's the solution. Then he said, I'm the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the solution? I'm the solution. And I just got to keep going and building until it happens. So I encourage every person: write, read, think, frame, influence other people. And I'm going to tell you, you got to start a business. If you don't have a business in 22, these robots are going to run you out. These
Mm-hmm.
robots are going to run you out. You need to improve yourself. You need to become the robot.
Mm-hmm.
That you need to be the valuable person in this world that the world needs, because you can't replace Darnell.
Mm-hmm.
You can't replace me. So
And I just
what you
wanted to
got?
say this, man. The, here's the thing. Ultimately, you want to become a solution to problems.
Mm-hmm.
Being a great business person is just being a problem solver. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's helpful to companies and businesses, and they're all over the map. And then I just wanted to say one more thing
Mm-hmm.
to what you're saying about reading. Peyton Manning. I use that example. Peyton Manning. He looked at the playbook and he looked over the plays. But he didn't become a great quarterback till he started working them plays. He started working at it. He started working
Mm-hmm.
at it. You got to
Yeah.
work at it. You got to
Yeah.
work at it to become great at it.
Yeah.
So ultimately. So yeah, and I'll leave that with let that sit on your spirit.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'm cooking first. You know what I mean? I'm cooking first. So thank you, man. Thank
Thank you, man.
you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Almost a half century on this earth.
Mm-hmm.
40 plus of those years I've known this guy right here. He has
Yes, sir.
helped me through some of the hardest places of my life. He has helped me physically, mentally. He even helped me financially before.
Mm-hmm.
He's always had my back, and you always need to have a friend that will be uh, better than a brother. I don't know
Yes,
how
sir.
exactly it says it in the Bible, but a
Mm-hmm.
friend that will love you more than a brother. Now, my
Mm-hmm.
brother loves me. My brothers love me,
That's right.
but they haven't been so connected to me like this man has been for me. So, with that being said, man, I really appreciate you. You
Uh,
deserve to be known. People deserve to know you. They need to know you. They need to hear your voice. They
mm-hmm.
need to see your work. They need to know that they can do what you've done. People
Yes, sir.
need you to be a model. They need you to be a leader. They need you to create a product that they can buy, because if they buy it, they will consume it. If somebody give you some free food and you're not hungry, you just throw it away.
That's right.
You just throw it away.
Right.
But if you buy the food, you usually eat the food, So I want everybody to encourage people to not be scared to pull out your credit card when it's time to buy something that can help you cut off years of time. Because I do not believe today that time is money anymore, because I learned that if I am on my bed, getting ready to close my eyes to be taken back to the glorious kingdom of God, hearing the words, "Well done, my great and faithful servant," because I'm going to hear those words, because I will be faithful to the Father to the end, period. And no questions asked. So, not perfect, just I'm gonna be a great son. That's all.
There it
So
is.
I'm gonna be a great son. I ain't gonna be perfect, I'm gonna just be a great son, So I really, 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 really hope, I'm gonna scratch what I was getting ready to say, but I really, really hope that you guys understand what Mr. Holmes has said here. This is a king in the flesh. I believe all
Thank you,
my
brother.
brothers and
Thank you.
sisters are queens. I believe we're all people of royalty. Do you have any last words to close us out, King James? And thank you again, man. In case this is interrupted, I just want to say thank you, man.
I
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
thank you, thank you for
Thank you,
being on
my
this show with
brother.
me.
Man, I mean, in, for me, man, and people that believes, what I'm saying, in the higher power, man, you know, just keep God first in everything that you do, and you shall prosper. You will prosper, because, and I'm saying that from experience, because I've been in some really, really shaky situations, and God has always come through for me, you know. He's always has. So I just say, man, just keep God first, man, and put your grind hat on.
Man, thank you again, man. We
Yes,
went
sir.
over it. We went over a little bit, people. We try to keep the show around 30 minutes, but as you can see, ain't no way we can contain this power that this young man has right here. He still look like a teenager, don't he? Look at me looking like Luke.
Man.
What's that dude name? I don't know, Luke Gossett. I'm looking like an old one of Harriet Tubman friends, and then you got Mr. Handsome over here
Listen
looking
to
all
me,
handsome with no gray
man.
hair on his face. You know what I
We
mean? But
kicking
it's
50,
okay,
brother.
God.
We
Hey,
kicking 50, brother.
yeah, 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 yeah.
This
This
shit.
dude he don't look 50 though. My God, my God. Thank you, man. I appreciate you so
All
much,
right,
man.
man. You take care, brother, and I
All
appreciate
right.
you having me on your platform.
Yeah, Rich Media people, we are out. Thank you so much for tuning in.
All right.